Hate when trees are literally laying on the house like that. You're literally just inviting bugs into the house because they can crawl up that tree, crawl down the branch, and now they're on your house. Whoa! This thing's been on the market for a year. So clearly that's not the magic number. Or the house is just in shambles. Who knows? Good morning and welcome back to another episode of the weekly deal analysis here in the corner barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy. Each and every week, I find a random house on the internet, analyze it for a cash deal and a creative deal. Let's get into it. So this week, we are going to analyze 706 6th Avenue Southwest, Cullman, Alabama, 35055. This is a 5-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,900 square foot home. Let's see what we can work. Whoa! This thing's been on the market for a year. So clearly that's not the magic number. Or the house is just in shambles. Who knows? Let's see. Southern home, large living. You could have 5 to 6 bedrooms, 5th bedroom or 4th bedroom, and an office. So really it's only a 4-bedroom. Water heater is only a year and a half old, probably 2 years at this point. This thing's been on the market so long. Kitchen and laundry flooring only 2 years old. And they're already offering $5,000 off. Pretty solid. Let's look at these pictures and see what we can find out. Roof looks to be pretty decent. Siding in good shape. I hate when trees are literally laying on the house like that. You're literally just inviting bugs into the house because they can crawl up that tree, crawl down the branch, and now they're on your house. Take care of that thing, cut it back. That is extremely narrow. That's basically your dining space. You got baseboard heat, or that could just be the register from the age of the house. Yeah, that looks like a register, not a baseboard heat unit. Condition looks pretty solid, and the floors have some wear and tear. Very, very basic. Closets. Kitchen looks fairly updated. Really no upper cabinets, but with that many windows, it's kind of hard to put them there. Oh, here you go. So you got tons of cabinet space in here. Never mind. And finished up top. All right, pretty solid. Let's see what else we can find out. And the potential rent could be over 1,600. Let's go and find out about this. So they paid 120,000 back in 21, and they're trying to obtain. Originally, they were trying to get more than double. Right now, they're sitting at $100,000 more, which I'm not sure where they're coming up with that number, but you know, you can get a realtor to list it at whatever price you want. Power to you. Property taxes, this is below the monthly rent. So I always like to see the property taxes less than 1 month worth of rent. Why? Because then 1 month's worth of rent covers your property taxes for the entire year. What do we got going on in the neighborhood? Got a 230 over here. When did that close? 23. That doesn't do us any good. $340 under contract. Wow, that's a beautiful house. And it's got a big pool. So not a comparable, but that's a pretty house. Two, not telling me anything good. Scroll down and see what else we can find. Doesn't look like there's much on the market nearby. Well, I think our ARV is going to be 200. Maybe a hair low, but this thing's been sitting on the market for so long that it might be worth a stab. I take a couple notes here. So if our ARV is going to be 200,000, we're going to offer 70% of that minus the repairs. 70% makes our offer 140,000. I believe our renovations are going to cost us about $10,000. So now that we have those numbers, we're going to jump over into the Invest Nest. I've already got it pulled up here on the Invest Nest, and I love this site. It's super user friendly. The link will be in the description below. If you use my link, you get 1 week for free. Try it out, test it out, see if you like it. And they offer skip tracing included. Also, using my link, you get 50% off your first month. Worth a try. What do you have to lose? So let's analyze this thing. See if we got any more details in here. Yeah, nothing crazy. We do have a forced error. Good. Here's that skip tracing feature I was telling you about. Just click that and it will provide all of the information that you are looking for. It's not giving us an estimated rent, which I don't like, but most of the time it does. This looks like a for sale by owner. Either that or no. All right, let's run some numbers and calculate this thing. I'm going to call this 6th Ave. And our purchase price was that 70% of ARV minus our $10,000 in repairs, which gives us a magical number of 130. Closing costs, we're paying both sides, so that's going to be 4%. Our lender charges, 2 points. Our reno costs, 10,000. And I'm going to try to roll those into that loan with that DSCR lender. I'm going to try to only put 20% down. And I want a 30-year amortization. Rates, they're not very good right now. And let's figure on an 8% rate for that. All right, our rent number, Zillow was saying that our rent was $16.57. Let's check HUD just to see what the government's willing to pay. The link for this will be in the description below, but for a 3-bedroom, it's 3 or 4. They're calling it 5, so really it's a 4-bedroom. So for a 4-bedroom, 1340, and street is saying 15, 16, 1659. So a really decent gap in there, about $300. So 1657, excuse me, versus 1340. Let's shoot the middle and call this thing 1500. Property taxes, I think this one's going to be a little bit more, about 125 a month. Do math in my head. 1500. Management fee of 10%. Our tenant's going to pay all of the utilities. This is our war chest. I love that this site has it built in, but it keeps our war chest for our reserve funds, repairs and maintenance, vacancy, CapEx. We are real estate investors. We don't pay full commissions. All right, you ready to see what the numbers spit out? 6146. Spending $35,440. Not a great deal. It's really not. I would not buy that deal. It's only a 2% cash on cash, 12% ROI. The math just is not mathing very good here. And that's even offering a whole lot less than they're currently asking right now. But this breaks everything out. So we're going to take these numbers and we're going to go do the fun part now. We're going to analyze this thing creatively. This is my creative calculator. The link will be below to my website, christhompsonteam.com. I have all kinds of resources on there. You can download them, use them. I hope you love them. So we said our ARV was 200. And our purchase price, remember, we're not doing a cash deal, so we're not going in at that 70%. I'm not gonna give them what they're asking right now because I think that's too high. So I think we give them that ARV of 200 because again, we're asking them to carry the paper. So we're gonna say, we'll give you what you're asking. I will give you your price if you give me the terms that allow me to cash flow. 2% interest rate, and to find out our PITI or principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, our mortgage payment, I'm going to jump over to Bankrate. I love Bankrate. This is a great site. It's super simple and it calculates everything really quickly. So we said we're going to pay 200,000. We're not offering 20% down. We're going to, you know what? We'll throw $5,000 at them. 30-year term, 35055. Property tax, 117. $125. Let's see what that payment is. $963 for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Not a bad number. So let's go back and plug this number in. 963. 963. And we said our potential rents were what, 15? Yes, 15. Our potential rents are 1,500. Gives us a gross cash flow of 537. 2.25 into our war chest, 10% management fee. Cash flow is still only $162 a month. I don't like that deal. Let's offer them 180. Still with only 5,000 down. Everything else the same. 837. 837. All right, a much more reasonable number. And again, I like to get my money back out within 3 years. That price works. So that gives us a net cash flow of 288. And that's if we don't raise the rent over those next 3 years. So our cash to the seller, we said, was $5,000. Agent's not really doing anything. We're going to offer them $100 or $1,000 to get out of the way. There is no assignment fee because we're sourcing this deal ourselves. We're not getting it from a wholesaler. Closing cost, 4% of that purchase price is going to be that $7,200. Cost of renos, we said was $10,000. Holding costs, that's 2 months of this PITI, and a good TC is going to cost you about $1,000. So for about $26,000, ooh, yeah, that jacked your numbers up real quick. So for $26,000, all things in, you're looking at a 7.5-year ROI. I probably wouldn't do that deal. As it sits, no, I wouldn't do that deal. Would you? I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. So there is our cash and creative analysis of 706 6th Avenue Southwest, Cullman, Alabama, 35055. Not a great deal on a cash or a creative, in my personal opinion. That wraps up this week's episode of the weekly deal analysis here in the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy. Catch you next week.